What's up, Amazon sellers? We are starting the year with some of my plans for Amazon USA, which can hopefully give you an idea of what you can do with your business going forward and obviously smashing your goals. Stay tuned. Right, if you're new to this channel, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I've been selling on Amazon now for the last 5 years. Now, I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller in the UK, but also as well a 7-figure Amazon seller in the USA. Okay, so first things first. Now, if you follow my journey, I gave myself a ludicrously high number, which was obviously not going to happen, 269,000 in revenue. No idea why I went that high. I wasn't even looking to make much profit off it, about 22,000. Now, if you kind of reflect upon the journey and looking back, obviously now in December, what did we actually achieve? We definitely didn't achieve 270,000. That's a fact. We got to 106,000, and that's pretty much not even half of where I was originally planning to be. Someone needs to sort out their plans, Tom. This is okay. Well, why? Because quite simply, we were making adjustments to our business. We ran out of money. That's a really positive point. We definitely ran out of money. But also, number two, we were adjusting our repricing rules, and what we were looking to do is try and maximize profit, but also as well clear down some stock. Now, for our gross profit, we're not likely to hit the target that we wanted to hit. We're looking at 22,000, and right now we're running about 14,400. But what I will say is the fact that actually our gross profit for a certain portion of our stock, which is under 90 days, has actually been really good. I'm really happy with that. But also as well, we've actually cleared down a lot of old stock, which has really impacted our overall gross profit. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing we did actually look at, and if you follow it back, is that we're going to focus on our gross profit, and particularly around our sourcing side. Now, one thing that I'll say is that our weekly target for our gross profit was about 8,000 that we were looking at. And we actually averaged around about 10,000 on that gross profit. Now, that is at purchase, and if you follow my lives, I talk about it. We talk about sorting around about 40-45% ROI, which I'm really happy with. And we'll probably sell around about the 30% ROI. But again, in December, we actually, sold a lot of old stock, which just crashed that margin, like really did. But old stock is dead stock, and it's something to really consider. So keep that in mind when you hear the numbers that I just shared with you. Now, the other thing which I talked about is that we ran out of cash. We had a massive goal, 269,000. We just ran out of cash. My team was spending really big, 50,000, I think, at one point. And then all of a sudden, we were like, hey, you've only got 16,000 this week. It's like, oh, that's a big difference. What do we do? Well, I'm really pleased to report we actually now managed to get an Amex business credit card. And I went for the Amex, I think it's blue. It's a blue pro card, I think it is. It's the extra blue one where it's actually a credit card, not a charge card. And the reason is I really want to start building up the credit limit, not the charge card limit, but we will get a charge card later on. I'll just start using the credit card first of all. So really happy with that. And that means hopefully we'll get some more money in the business. Hashtag that's what we need to keep growing. Okay, question for you guys. How were your sales for last month? Let me know in the comments down below. Good, bad, or perhaps maybe even ugly. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. Now, this leads me nicely onto my second chapter, Amazon USA plans for January. So what are we thinking? Well, look, the first plan in Amazon USA is to improve clarity on our month-end reporting. If you follow anything from my channel, I'm doing exactly the same in the UK. We want reporting to improve. Why? Well, number one, we were so off on that, figures that we talked about just a minute ago. $270,000 estimated, actually achieved at like 110,000, way off. Why? Because we weren't clear on our forecasting in regards to our cash and capital, but also as well, one other thing we need to make sure is that when we actually sell our products, what we think we're going to get, STK, is going to be actually correct or close enough to what we're getting on our actual account. So QuickBooks Xero, for example, and that's something that we really want to look at. So what we're going to do is be getting a lot more organized on our systematic month-end reporting to avoid those variances, but also as well, just make sure that when we're doing that planning going forward, we're not making really big estimations on our forecasted revenues and obviously profitability when we run out of cash. And that's just kind of a bit of a rookie mistake. Now, the second thing I'm going to be looking at is also defining repricing. And in particular around repricing, what are we looking to do? SOP, standard operating procedures, documentation. If you follow my journey, I've talked a lot about we're tweaking the repricer. We've historically run lower margins, and now we've seen an opportunity to improve it. We just want to get better. We've hired a full-time repricing analyst, and now we have something like, I think, don't quote me, 13 or 15 different pricing rules, and we've managed between them, and we've seen an increase in our overall ROI of it, but also as well, we've had to clear down a lot of stock, so we've seen that, and we have the reporting in place to see how the repricing is changing different stocks at different ages, which is great. Now, we're pretty much happy with that, and there's a few little minor tweaks that need to happen, but what do I want? Well, I've got a full-time pricing analyst who's doing a great job. Also as well, I want to make sure that that process is properly documented within our business. Why? Because we probably might get another repricing analyst because it's made such an impact. But number two, if they were to ever leave, we'd obviously want to be able to train someone else up, and the documentation documentation helps. And then the third and the final one is also I want to share that repricing documentation, that process with our members within the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy, which is my community of Amazon sellers who are taking their business to the next level. Now, the third and the final thing, which I'm going to say is, and it's kind of talking a bit about clarity on numbers and what we talked about in the first one, but really just drilling down into our actual accounts versus our reporting numbers. If you're an Amazon seller right now, what are we talking about? Well, if you use anything like Inventory Labs or SDK, these are really great tools. They tell you what your profits are per product basis and they add them all up. Fantastic. Now, if you ever do inventory management, whereby you take in, say, your closing stock, or say get an opening stock, add in your purchases and minus off your closing stock, what you will realize is that there is a variance. And right now we're seeing quite a large variance in those two numbers. So really our QuickBooks, our Xero are not reporting the same numbers as our SDK. And we want to find out what's going on, why, really dig into the detail. And we've been talking about this for a couple of months now. We've been working with our accountants, we've been doing so much, but this is granular, like serious granular stuff. I had a fantastic interview with a good friend of mine, Tim Saros, and quite simply, he even talked about it, losing money out of the business, leakage in the bucket, and that's what we really want to stop. We want to know where all these are. We're really good at it, but we still need to get better. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much money you make at the top. If you've got big holes in your bucket, that money is going to disappear. And for us, we need to find and fix all those holes in our business to make sure that we're being consistent with our business over the long term. Because when you start talking about millions of pounds in sales, this adds up. And I know that's from Tim and his journey. Now, you may have just noticed that I talked about something called the Seller Academy, and you might be wondering, what is it? Well, quite simply, the Fast Track FBA Seller Academy is a community, a group. It's basically where I share all my insights into my business, everything I've learned, but also my exact SOPs, the processes, the frameworks that allowed me to build not one, but two seven-figure Amazon businesses, and pretty much do it in less than 5 hours a week. Now, how have I been able to do this? Well, I've learned a lot from other people, and I've been able to implement it within my own Amazon businesses, and I share this exact framework and the way we do it with all these sellers. Now, there are people who are just getting started in Amazon, and we share that and help them build up their business. And also we have seven-figure Amazon sellers already who are also learning a lot about systematizing and building their business. Now, not only that, I also give the members of the Seller Academy access to my team, so they can ask questions to my team directly. So that's my sources. They can talk to my admin VAs. They can talk to my purchasing managers directly in group calls, and also myself every single week. Now, if you're interested in perhaps maybe joining and you think that it could be something that could take your business to the next level, and you're interested in learning how to use other people's time, money, networks, and resources, and also want to take your business seriously and scale it and probably get more hands-off, become more of a business owner rather than a business operator, then do check out Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. I'll drop a link down below, or fasttrackfba.com/seller. That will show you all that information. And obviously when we reopen for our next intake, and I only take on 20 people at a time, you'll be able to see if that is going to be right for you. And obviously maybe you'll be one of the 20 people that we take on, support taking their business to the next level. Check it out today, Fast Track FBA Seller Academy. Okay, so this leads me nicely onto my third chapter, and that's really some personal advice for you. Now, what can I recommend? Well, look, if you're following my channel, if you're watching what I'm doing, if you're seeing what's happening, one thing I'm doing is networking with more people. I'm sharing a lot more content around people that I've met, that I've interviewed, and I'm sharing it with you guys because I really want to help you out. But also as well, I'm learning as well. I've learned from, Trader Saros, I'm learning from like Scott Needham, BuyBoxer, Warner Fields. I've learned so much. And the one thing which I want to do is in 2023, is I want to continue to network, and I want to share that with, yourself, because quite simply, you only know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. For example, 10 years ago, maybe you didn't even know it was possible to sell on Amazon, and then all of a sudden someone introduced you to it. Once you realize that there's something that you don't know and you didn't know that you didn't know, then the next question is how can you be around people who are going to show you things you didn't know? So networking, sharing, socializing is so important. Rake and Profit talked about it, and so many other people talked about it as well. Don't just be someone that is selling and maybe hiding behind, like an emoji. Actually get out there and share your content, share information, and network. It makes such a big difference. I cannot stress it enough. So 2023 is going to be the year of sharing what you're doing, sharing on the journey, and in turn, helping others, and they will help you back. cannot stress that enough. Now, after going through my plans for, should we say, January in my Amazon business in 2023, you might want to learn about growing your business with VAs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a video around here called How Virtual Assistants Grow Your Amazon Business. Now, if you've liked this, do make sure you hit the thumbs up. And hey, if you think someone needs to see this or watch this video, hit the share button and give them a copy of it. And finally, if you want to follow more on my journey, do hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, thank you very much and have a great day.